Hi, guys.
Hey, Sleepy. That was some Halloween party, huh?
I told you I still know how to throw a banger party. The White House staff always goes all out with the decorations and whatnot.
Gotta admit, I was pleasantly surprised. Even your costume was pretty good, considering it's you we're talking about. I mean, I don't know shit about One Piece, but it beats last year when you dressed up as me and tried giving out candy to kids in a white van.
Look, that was all a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, well, you know what wasn't a misunderstanding? Donald's costume from last year, bro, legit just did cultural appropriation and dressed up as a Native American.
Oh, boo fucking who, George? I thought you were a Republican, not some sniveling little snowflake.
Hey, Donald learned his lesson at least. Though he must have missed the memo that you're supposed to dress up as something different than normal, considering he's a clown in real life, and for his costume.
Shut the hell up, Joe. You're literally so awful I knocked you out of the presidential race.
And now Kamala's trouncing you in the polls. Sounds like Barry and me might be the only two-termers in the group.
Nah, I'm gonna win easily. But on the topic of Barack, fuck him for not showing to the party. Where the hell is he anyways?
I think Michelle dragged him along to one of her girlfriend's parties. Basically, bro is whipped. Have you seen the costume she forced him to wear?
Oh God, how bad is it?
Here, I'll text you a pic the paparazzi snapped earlier.
Let's see here. Holy shit, he actually wore that?
Speak of the devil.
Go ahead, get your laughs in. I already know pics of my costume leaked online.
Hey, Barack, looks like someone's been a busy bee.
Did you come up with that one on your own? I mean, at least I wore something different, as opposed to you dressing up as Cocksuckula or whatever for the 10th time in a row.
That's Count W, prick. And it's a Bush family tradition to dress as a vampire on Halloween.
That's a weird-ass tradition, George.
What are you guys up to anyways?
We're just hanging out. I was thinking maybe we could do a tier list, something like ranking Halloween candy.
That's a great idea. You know how much of a sweet tooth I have? Though I may have to lay off the candy a bit this year. That weird nightmare I had last year will never leave my mind. Had to be because I ate too much sweet stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember you crying about that the next day. Something about the Evil Dead movie and that rotten gourd you found at the pumpkin patch?
His name was Jeff Gordon, and I miss him very much. But it's okay. I got a new one. His name is Gordon Ramsay.
Joe, you are one strange motherfucker. But anyways, that does sound fun. Got a tier list for us already, George?
Sure do. Found it on tiermaker.com.
Classic site for all our ranking shenanigans. And it looks like there's a good number of things to rank too, so might as well get started. First up, we've got Hershey's milk chocolate bars.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of chocolate that much.
How can that be, Barack? You're made out of chocolate.
Oh, hell no! Joe, you can't say that, you demented old cracker.
Hey, chill, Barack. No need to use racial slurs here.
I agree, the C word is a bit much.
Racial slurs? Joe just said I was made out of fucking chocolate.
You're not?
Fuck the lot of you. Let's just rank this fucking Hershey bar already.
I mean, Hershey is classic, the peak of candy bars, in my opinion.
Gotta agree with Donald here. If I'm getting chocolate on Halloween, I'd want it to be this.
I agree, though Jill has told me to lay off the chocolate, but I haven't been listening to her. I'm old as fuck anyways. I'm gonna do what I want before I die.
Which might not be very far off. Did you all hear the rapture is supposed to be happening soon?
What a load of nonsense. Nobody knows when that's happening. Certainly not a random YouTuber. Now, it seems like you all like Hershey a lot, and it is iconic. I'd say it goes right at the top.
That's fine. I guess now would be a good time to explain the tiers. I took a page from Cody Leach when it came to the naming. At the top, we have Halloween Classic, then Scary Good, Above Average to Absolutely Mid, and Horrifying, and finally Biden tier.
Biden tier? What the fuck does that mean?
That's a tier reserved for the shittiest things you can get on Halloween, stuff only your old ass would give out.
I resent that. I only give out sweet treats on Halloween.
Guess we'll see about that Sleepy Joe. Let's move on to the next candy already, which is 100 grand. I've never really tried this one before.
Talk about underrated. I don't know why these seem to only exist around Halloween time, because they're great. It's like a beefed up version of a Crunch Bar, but better. Takes a while to get through one of these, so it's a lot of bang for your buck.
I can speak from experience here. It takes just as long to come out as it does to go in. I like 100 grand, but it tears my stomach up. Joe's right, though. It is criminally underrated. I'd put it in A tier, honestly.
I'm gonna have to trust your judgment on this. I've never had one either.
Well, I don't like listening to Joe, but seems we have no choice in this case. A tier it is. Next up, we have Andy's Mint Thins. These might be the first stinker on the list. Who the fuck has ever actually gotten these on Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, I like minty stuff otherwise, but chocolate and mint isn't a combo I'm too fond of. And having that mint aftertaste while trying to eat the rest of your candy is no fun.
Y'all are tripping. This shit is fire. Chocolate anything is goated, mint or not.
Well, if you love it so much, then I'll gladly trade you any I get on Halloween. I'd rather not have it taint the rest of my candy.
Look, all I'm saying is it's not bad. You can save it for another day and have a nice treat. Y'all can't put it in the bottom tier.
Fine, I suppose you're right. Sounds like the mid-tier is the perfect placement. Next up is Junior Mints. I mean, do we need to discuss this one any? It's the same thing, just in ball form. I know that probably makes it more appealing for Barry since he loves balls, but it's still mid.
Just remember, George, everything Republicans accuse Democrats of is a confession.
Just put the fucking things in mid-tier and let's move on to some real candy, please.
Ooh, pixie sticks are next. I love these. They're so good. They're a blend of sweet and sour that come in a variety of flavors. They even have a Donald flavor. Tangerine Twit. Oops, I meant twist.
Laugh it up, Joe. You won't be laughing on Inauguration Day when I take the country back from your withered hands.
Shifting focus back to the candy. Yeah, pixie sticks are good, but don't they seem like filler candy? Like, this is what someone buys when they're too cheap to dish out the good stuff. Someone like Donald, for example.
That's a good way of putting it. Still, they are good. I think this might be our first above-average placement.
I'll ignore Barry's little comment. I want to save the petty squabbles, as you say, for later. I can get behind that placement, though. Next up looks like Blow Pops. What are we thinking?
Blowjobs? I didn't realize we'd be getting so intimate tonight, Donald. Well, if you want me to rate all the blowjobs I've given...
What the fuck do you mean, given?
Joe, clean the dog jizz out of your ears, you fucking creep.
Wait a sec. How do you know about that? I swear it only happened once. Commander, he snuck up on me when I was sleeping and...
Joe, I am seriously regretting ever choosing you to be my VP. It's going to take me a long time to forget what I just heard.
Can we please go back to talking about blow pops?
Yeah, sure. These things are pretty mid. The gum in the middle is ass. The actual sucker part is decent, but nothing special.
Oh, I hate these things. They'd always have these sharp spots and cut up my gums and shit. Candy shouldn't cause me physical pain.
You know what? Fuck these things. They're the worst. I think they should go in horrifying.
No complaints here.
Next up is Starburst. I mean, we can all agree this shit is a must-get on Halloween, right?
Oh, 100%. The real debate comes over which flavor we think is the best.
I'm an orange flavor guy myself.
Shocker.
Everyone knows the pink ones are the best.
The red ones are way better, in my opinion.
I know y'all are gonna roast me, but I personally like the yellow ones best.
I know you guys give me shit for my takes, but that is objectively wrong.
I hate to agree with dumbass over here, but George, he's right. The yellow ones suck ass. But I guess it's good we all like different flavors. Makes trading candy on Halloween easier.
That's a good point. I think we all agree, though. These are a Halloween classic.
Yeah, well, you know what's not a classic? Swedish Fish. God, these suck. They might be the first contender for Biden tier. I mean, what kid wants to eat a fish-shaped gummy from Sweden anyways?
No kidding. You might as well be chewing on rubber. These things are horrible. I mean, what flavor are they supposed to be anyways?
I still resent the fact that there's a tier named for me. Besides, Swedish Fish aren't bad. There are a variety of flavors too, like red, green, yellow, even black for you, Obama.
Those aren't flavors, dipshit. Those are just the colors. You're proving exactly why there's a tier named after you.
And what the hell did you mean with that little comment about the black ones?
Listen, all I'm saying is if you want to put it in the Biden tier, then fine. But that tier is going to wind up being the most base by the end of this.
Ah, fuck. Next up is Werther's. Whose grandpa is actually giving these out on Halloween? Maybe it's because I don't like caramel, but I'd rather find a razor blade in my bag than one of these.
I mean, it's not what I'd expect to get on Halloween, but they are pretty good. I think you're just being a drama queen, Donald.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider them a Halloween classic by any means, but I'd probably put them in scary good personally. I do like caramel.
Sorry, Don, you're outnumbered here.
Whatever, it's fine. Let's just move on to the next one.
Now, this is going to be controversial. What are your guys' thoughts on candy corn?
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Candy corn just might be the worst candy ever made. So fucking ass. And to make matters worse, it was created in Ohio, just like J.D. Vance. I know he's my running mate, but he is a weirdo. And it was originally called Chicken Feed. Yeah, I wouldn't even feed this shit to a chicken, it's so bad.
Why do you know so much about the history of candy corn?
Bro is an extreme hater. Still, taste aside, which I happen to like by the way, this candy is synonymous with Halloween. In that regard, it's a classic, no?
I mean, taste is more important than iconography, in my opinion.
It really is a love it or hate it type of candy. I think the best compromise would be scary good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm no fan of them, but I can't deny that they are the Halloween candy.
Looks like up next is Kit Kats. These are like the best chocolate bars ever.
Yeah, this is probably the chocolate bar I tolerate the most. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't technically a whole chocolate bar, it's a chocolate-covered wafer. Probably why you like it more, Barry. Either way, you know, if you get one of these on Halloween night, you're a happy camper.
No cap detected. I mean, biting into one of these and hearing that crunch is one of the most satisfying things. This easily goes to the top tier.
Okay, glad we're all in agreement. Next up, we got Double Bubble. As if getting gum on Halloween is bad enough, this is probably the most mid-gum you could get. Some of the flavored varieties are decent like green apple, but this only has the original flavor on it.
I mean, I think it'd be a lot better if the flavor lasted longer. After like 20 seconds, the flavor is gone, and you're just mindlessly flapping your gums at that point.
Sounds a lot like Kamala Harris when giving an interview. But nah, for real, this gum wasn't even easy to chew either. Your jaw would be hurting after a while. Now, I know your jaw strength is better than the rest of ours, Obama, but do you have any thoughts?
First off, fuck you, George. Secondly, I pretty much agree. Double Bubble is like the worst gum. There's a reason it's so damn cheap.
All right, mid-tier it is then. Next is Atomic Fireballs. Now, I like cinnamon, but personally, if I'm gonna have Fireball, then it's gonna be the alcohol.
I'm not a big fan of cinnamon. It hits too hard for me. If I ever get one of these, I'm giving it away.
That sounds like a skill issue. Also, I'm pretty sure this shit is discontinued anyways.
I can see why. It doesn't seem like the most profitable candy. Still, in honor of it, we should put it in above average. It's not bad if you like cinnamon. Looks like next up is Fun Dip. This shit rules. I know it's basically just sugar, but it was so damn good.
Hot take maybe, but the white stick that you dipped was the best part. It reminds me of those candy cigarettes we had back in the day.
Fun Dip is pretty awesome. I would probably put it in Scary Good. It's not exactly the most filling, and it was very easy to get the powder on your clothes, which was annoying.
Good point. I think that's a good placement for Fun Dip if there's no objections.
None here. Let's move on. Looks like next is Good and Plenty's. I've never had these, to be honest.
Ew, isn't this black licorice candy or something?
What? You don't like black licorice?
Hell no! It's disgusting and robs you of your taste buds. Everyone knows that black licorice is inferior to white licorice. I mean red licorice.
The fuck did you just say? White licorice isn't even a thing?
I misspoke, that's all.
Guys, chill out. We're supposed to be having fun here. Let's just drop it into horrifying and move on.
Yeah, I can't take all this arguing between my friends. The White House proctologist told me I needed to watch my blood pressure, which means I need to watch my stress level.
White House proctologist? The hell are you talking about, Joe?
You know, the guy that I met hiding in the bushes by the Rose Garden. He said he was the White House proctologist and worked with every administration. He had to give me a thorough examination. Weird that it was out in the open, though, and not in a doctor's office.
Joe, the White House has never had a proctologist. You there, Joe?
I'll be back in a few minutes. Just go on without me.
Okay, well, looks like next are those strawberry candies that everyone's grandma would give them.
Oh yeah, I remember these. Weird that nobody knows where they come from. Just that your grandparents would have them. Like, I've never seen this at a store or anything.
Yeah, even stranger that every kid in America seems to share that memory. I wish Joe were here right now. He's old as fuck. He probably knows where to get them.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, but I'd rather pretend I don't. Now back to the candy. What are we thinking?
I mean, I don't think I'd be excited to get one of these on Halloween. They're not bad, but not really top-tier candy or anything. I'd say above average is a good spot.
Fine by me.
All right, I'm back, guys. What did I miss?
Nothing much. We were about to rank the next candy, which is candy canes. Seriously, why would someone give away candy canes on fucking Halloween?
Remember last year at the pumpkin patch, Joe wore a fucking Christmas sweater?
Oh, right. Well, if that's not a reason to put this in the Biden tier, I don't know what is.
Next up is Whoppers, not to be confused with the burger from Burger King, which is infinitely inferior to Big Macs.
These are pretty good if I'm being honest. The chocolate isn't too overpowering, and the milk ball is the real treat.
These are probably Michael Jackson's favorites. Brown on the outside, white on the inside, just waiting to be released.
Sure, Joe, whatever, but what do you guys think?
I'd say they're decent at best.
I can get behind that. Above average seems like a good placement.
Next, we got Sweet Tarts. I mean, these are God tier. These pack a punch in the sour department and have a good flavor to them. It's a certified Halloween classic to me.
I'm not the biggest fan of overly sour stuff, but they are good. I'd put them in Scary Good personally. They're not the most sour things in the world.
Well, nobody asked you, Joe. Halloween classic.
Well, what about the Sweet Tart Ropes? I like them a bit more. They're more on the sweet side.
They're pretty good, honestly. I'm happy to have these from time to time.
Yeah, they're good too. I could put these in Scary Good, honestly.
I can get behind that. They're pretty good. Like Joe said, more on the sweet side, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Next is Mint Lifesavers. Easily goes to horrifying, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want mints on Halloween. We want unhealthy candy that's going to rot our teeth out.
Right, like a mint is fine any other day of the year, but not Halloween.
True, but you can always save them for another day. I don't think they're Biden tier or anything. Horrifying ought to be all right.
If you say so, Barack.
Next up is the Crunch Bar. Super underrated in my opinion. It's basically a Rice Krispie covered in milk chocolate.
I'm not really a fan of Rice Krispies.
Again, not a chocolate person, but if you like them so much, George, we can certainly place it in above average.
Yeah, that's fine. Crunch isn't the unsung hero of chocolate bars or anything, but they're not mid. Above average is a good placement.
Well, next we have one that shouldn't need much debate. Reese's Cups and Reese's Pieces.
I mean, these are iconic Halloween candies. From the orange wrapping to the quality and taste, these are just too good to put any lower.
Yeah, peanut butter is one of life's greatest pleasures, and nobody does it better than Reese's.
This is probably the most agreeing we're going to do tonight. Now drop that in the top tier, like how Barack drops bombs on hospitals.
Next, we got Three Musketeers. I am sure Barack loves these because they're veiny, not unlike something else he likes to put in his mouth.
Okay, enough with the gay jokes at my expense. Why the hell am I a punching bag all of a sudden?
Picking on Joe isn't fun anymore. It's too easy when he's literally demented.
Both of you, shut up. We're here to talk about candy. Now, Three Musketeers, let's discuss. In my opinion, it's a worse version of a Milky Way because it doesn't have the caramel.
They are good though, can't deny that.
Yeah, I do prefer Milky Ways, but I like these too. Scary Good is fine by me.
All right then, next is Almond Joy. Anyone else think these things fucking suck?
I gotta agree with the Grim Sleeper over here. It sounds good on paper, but these have never sat well with me.
Y'all are tripping. Almond Joys are goated.
Well, that's probably because you grew up on an island Obunga. Though you should know what actual good coconut tastes like.
That's Cap Georgian, you know it. Everyone knows Obama was born in Kenya. He's an illegal president.
Yet I still want a second term despite your racist nonsense.
Well, you're not winning this argument. Almond Joys are moving on. Payday. The best thing about this is the name. Of course, I hate caramel, so this isn't my style. Straight to horrifying, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Michelle sees these as a healthy chocolate bar, and so she actually lets me buy these, but frankly, I'm sick of them.
Well, Barack's cuckery to Big Mike aside, I think the best way to describe a payday bar is boring. I think this is as mid as they come.
Whatever, Joe. Well, what about Heath bars?
I'd rather slit my wrist than eat a fucking Heath bar. What freak is actually keeping this company in business?
Hey, they're pretty good actually.
I shouldn't have even asked. Of course it's fucking Joe.
Yeah, I personally find toffee to be disgusting. Sorry, Joe, I agree with the Oompa Loompa.
And we know Obama's chocolate-hating ass won't like it. The Biden tier is looking lonely, so we'll put it there for you. Now we can get into some actual good candy again, Sour Patch Kids.
I love these. They're not too sour, which I like, and those old commercials used to make me laugh so much.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids are goated. I can't see these being any lower than Halloween Classic. They're one of the quintessential sour candies.
Not gonna disagree with you there. Next up is Dots.
More garbage. Anytime I get these on Halloween, I throw them away. I tried them. They taste like shit and always get stuck to my teeth.
Yeah, I gotta agree. This is the kind of candy you give out if you hate kids.
But I love kids, and I give these out every Halloween.
Well, shoulder sniffer, that's because your love for kids is of the inappropriate variety. Now put these shitty little gumdrops in horrifying. and let's move on to something better.
Looks like next is Gushers. Not really candy, but they are hella good.
They're better than a lot of candy, honestly, but you don't get them too often. I think Scary Good makes the most sense.
Next are Warheads, both the hard candy and the spray. If you can't handle sour candy, you're not going to enjoy these.
Yeah, these are a bit much. Don't get me wrong, they do taste good, but they make my lips pucker more than Donald's asshole will when he gets imprisoned with Big Bubba.
Never gonna happen.
Well, I'm gonna put these both in above average since I know Joe doesn't like sour stuff that much. These would probably kill him.
Next up is Nerds, both the regular candies and the ropes. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the Nerd ropes. A whole box of Nerds makes my stomach hurt.
Wow, Joe, with a take that isn't brain dead for once, the ropes are way better.
We should put the box of Nerds in above average and the ropes in Scary Good.
Okay, well, what about Smarties? In my opinion, these are just a dog shit version of Sweet Tarts.
Yeah, I remember it was a fad back in the day to smoke these as opposed to eating them. Safe to say they're mid.
Fun fact, in Canada, what we call Smarties are called Rockets, and for them, Smarties are a knockoff M&M.
That is a fun fact. Thanks for sharing that, George.
Please, there's nothing fun about Canada. If you get sick and have to go to the hospital, they'll straight up euthanize you. And don't even get me started on their prime minister. Castro's son over there wore fucking blackface, yet they call me racist.
What were we talking about again?
We were talking about candy before dumbass over here went off on a tangent. Now let's put Smarties in mid-tier and move on.
Next is Laffy Taffy. What are we thinking, boys?
I like Laffy Taffy a lot, most of the flavors anyways. Not a big fan of the banana ones, though.
I bet banana and grape Laffy Taffies are Barry's favorites.
Donald, I swear to God, next time I see you, I'm punching you in the face.
Yeah, just make sure Big Mike tags along so she can hold your purse.
Enough with the petty squabbles. Now it seems like we all agree Laffy Taffies are great, even if we disagree on which flavors are good. I think we have another Halloween classic on our hands.
Well, surely the same can't be said for lemon heads, right?
Well, I'm a bit of a lemon head myself. Anything lemon flavored I love. And these have a sour kick to them, which I enjoy. I'd recommend them.
I don't know, man. These things just feel like you're sucking on a sour lemon. I can't eat these.
Well, that's because you're a pussy.
Nah, the sleepwalker over here has a point. They're not horrible or anything, but not great either.
Yeah, sorry, George. I don't feel comfortable putting these any higher than above average.
Fine, whatever. As much as it pains me to do that.
Next are Now and Laters. These just might be the worst fruit candy of all time.
Yeah, these things are horrible. They taste like shit. There's a reason you never even see these outside of Halloween. They probably get thrown in some variety candy bag, waiting to find themselves in some poor kid's Halloween stash.
Plus, the box is just misleading. I've never had one of these, and they're chewy. They're always hard as a rock. Hell, I cracked a tooth on one once.
Yeah, these easily go in horrifying. No further discussion needed.
Next are Airheads. These have got to be Donald's favorite, considering he is one.
Fuck you. At least I have anything going on inside my head. But no, these are not my favorite. They're not bad or anything, but the taste is kind of mid.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I don't mind eating a couple of these on Halloween, but these aren't something I like to eat a lot of. Still, I'd say it's above average.
Nah, I disagree. Airheads are goated. I'd say they're top-tier Halloween candy.
Well, you're in the minority, I'm afraid. Sorry, bro.
Okay, well, what about Skittles? They have both the normal and sour ones here, and I think they're both great.
Yeah, me too. I like the sour ones a lot more, though. Those are certified top tier.
Wow, we actually agree for once?
I say we put them both in Halloween Classic.
Back to the chocolate. Next is Milky Way.
I love Milky Way. In my mind, these are one of the best chocolate bars around.
I've never tried them, to be honest.
I think it's pretty good. I'd be fine putting Milky Ways in the scary good tier.
Ooh, next are Ring Pops. I fucking love these things.
No surprise there. Well, you'll never catch me sucking on one of those things.
Not a fan, Don?
Listen, Hussein, I know your zesty ass is used to sucking on stuff, but I have my dignity. I'm not ever eating a ring pop.
That's odd. I expected you to have better opinions on candy, Donald, considering you're an escaped factory worker of Willy Wonka, you damn Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, you'll have to hold that L, Donnie. These are going in Halloween Classic.
Okay, but surely you guys agree Tootsie Rolls fucking suck, right?
Yeah, these are the very definition of filler candy. Like Tootsie Rolls are usually the last thing left in my Halloween stash, and I usually just throw them away.
Yeah, and the Tootsie Pops aren't much better. I don't even want to know how many licks it takes to get to the center because all that awaits you is disappointment. Immediate horrifying tier in my opinion.
Can we at least agree that the Tootsie Fruit Chews are way better?
That's like comparing eating vomit to diarrhea. It's only marginally better.
Come on, man, that's just gross.
Listen, Joe, we can put the fruit ones in above average since I'm feeling generous today.
Next up is Charleston Chew. Boy, do I love these things.
I don't even know what these are, but they just sound like they're 100 years old and something Joe would eat. Put these in Biden tier, I don't care.
I think it's got marshmallow in it or something. I don't know. I've never had one. Biden tier it is, I guess.
You guys make no fucking sense, I swear.
Well, next up is Twix. Are you guys left Twix or right Twix fans?
Definitely Republican Twix. Nobody likes left-leaning Twix.
Donald. I don't think the left and right Twix has anything to do with politics. It's just a marketing thing.
Wrong. Believe me, I tried both. Huge difference. Right Twix tastes like freedom, guns, and patriotism. The nasty-ass left Twix tasted like welfare, crime, and open borders.
Donald, no offense, but you're retarded.
Joe, you Nimrod? Are you trying to get canceled? Besides, you don't have room to call anyone that.
Gentlemen, can we please just rank the damn candy? Now, in my opinion, Twix are pretty damn good. Not the best chocolate bar by any means, but still it's a treat to find one in your Halloween stash.
So scary good by the sounds of it. Fine with me.
Next is M&M's, with and without peanuts. These are absolute Halloween staples, in my opinion.
Yeah, even I can eat a little bag of M&Ms. They're a nice snack to have on Halloween.
Let me guess, Barack. You like the kind with nuts best?
Fuck you, big fat fatty. Your ass looks like you ate way too many M&Ms.
It's too bad, though, that they changed the design of the green M&M and made her less sexy. God, I wanted to fuck her so bad.
Joe, you seriously need help, you dementia-riddled fuck.
I'm just gonna throw these in Halloween classics so we can move on to milk duds.
Yeah, talk about a dud, all right. These things are not that good in my opinion.
Yeah, they are a bit too chewy, and the taste isn't anything to write home about either.
I'm not a fan of these either, to be honest. I think they belong in mid-tier. A lot of these chocolate candies can't compete with the big names.
No complaints here. Next are Mike and Ike's. Not a big fan, to be honest. Too bland tasting.
Really, I think they're pretty good, especially the sour ones, but those don't appear to be on this list.
Oh, those are good. And way better than the regular Mike and Ike's. They're not bad, though. I'd put them in above average personally.
You know what? I used to know Mike and Ike personally. The candy used to be called Mike, Ike, and Joe's. We were all three in a loving relationship together. But then they left me and cut me from the company. Damn bastards.
Yeah, that's tragic, Joe, but we don't care. Let's move on to the next candy. Wait a minute, this isn't even candy. It's fucking Welch's Fruit Snacks. This is stuff you feed to a toddler.
Then you should love it considering you're a giant man-child.
That's rich coming from the man who wears a diaper.
Donald does have a point, though. Ain't nobody trying to get these on Halloween. Horrible tier.
Thank you, George. Finally, someone with common sense.
Next up are Lifesaver Gummies. I haven't had these in a long time.
They're pretty good, though sometimes they'd be way too hard to chew. Like they'd be rubbery. They do taste pretty good, though.
That's probably because you have dentures, Joe, you fucking fossil. Still, these are decent, but not great or anything. I could settle for above average.
Ooh, next up are those circus peanuts. I love these.
What a shocker. Of course you like these. Joe, you belong in a fucking circus.
Joe, you gotta be off that galaxy gas or something because what the fuck? I'd rather eat packing peanuts than these. This has got to be a contender for worst Halloween candy of all time.
Literally, what are these even supposed to taste like?
Yeah, I've never been able to get past the staleness of one to recognize any sort of flavor.
They taste like, well, it's hard to explain. They're amazing, though.
That is such a BS answer. Even you don't know what they taste like. There's no point in debating further. These are obviously going in Biden tier. Next up are a bunch more chocolate bars. And I'm going to be honest, I'm getting tired of talking about these chocolates that are barely different from one another. So I'm just going to throw these wherever.
Come on, man, that defeats the whole purpose of the tier list.
Well, Joe, unlike your demented ass, I have an election to win in a few days. And I can't waste time talking about the intricacies of fucking chocolate bars all night. Next is Jolly Ranchers. Let's talk about them.
Well, you know us old people, we love hard candy.
That is true, and Jolly Ranchers are the king of hard candies. You get a lot of mileage out of a single one of these things, too.
Yeah, you can suck on one for a good while before it's gone, and it never loses its flavor.
Gentlemen, I think we have another Halloween classic on our hands. Both this and its stick variant. I don't think the same can be said of this next entry, though. Looks like those weird wax soda bottle things. I don't think I've ever even gotten these on Halloween.
What, are you telling me you don't like the...
Minnesota! Very funny. Well, you can take your mini sodas and shove them up your ass, Joe, because there's no way they're good. Horrible tier they go.
Next up, we got Pop Rocks. Man, these things were so fun to get back as a kid. It always made my mouth feel like a party was going on inside.
Yeah, but these always felt more like a novelty as opposed to a tasty confection on Halloween. If we're going based on taste, these are pretty mid.
That's a valid point, Obama. I've never just been craving Pop Rocks the same way I have other candy.
Why, thank you, Donald. I suggest we put it in mid-tier where it belongs then.
Is that a fucking Mr. Beast chocolate bar? I'd kill someone if they gave me this shit on Halloween.
Oh yeah, he is just the worst, and so is his shitty chocolate.
Yeah, what a scumbag. Mr. Beast only cares about selling shitty products with his name on it. He's fallen off hard. He's a lot like Donald in that regard.
Sleepy Joe, don't ever compare me to that freak again. He knowingly employed his buddy Chris Tyson, an obvious pedo.
I'm glad we all agree that Mr. Beast fucking sucks and that he can take his Feastables bars and shove them where the sun don't shine. Let's put it in horrifying and move on. Looks like next is Pez. Man, I haven't seen a Pez dispenser in many years.
Yeah, the candy was never as cool as the actual dispensers. If you're a Gen Z baby watching this, by the way, you probably don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, the candy itself was pretty bland. I never really ate it when I'd get it on Halloween.
I personally like the candy, but even if you don't, I think the neat dispensers should count for something. Can we at least put these in above average?
Sure, why the hell not? Looks like next are Twizzlers. I like these a lot, actually. A lot better than that nasty black licorice.
Really? I hate these things. They make me want to vomit.
Well, my mentally challenged friend, that's because your taste buds are inferior to mine, likely on account of you being a dirty Democrat.
Oh, shut up, Donald. I agree with Joe. Twizzlers are horrible. The sour ones were all right, but talking purely the regular ones, it's like chewing on a rope of rubber that tastes worse.
Clearly everyone in this call but me is an idiot.
Yeah, clearly that's what's going on. Sorry, Agent Orange, but Twizzlers are going into horrifying where they belong.
Fuck you guys.
Animal crackers are next. Whoever gives shit like this out on Halloween instead of actual candy needs to be drone struck. Same goes for pretzels. We want candy, damn it.
They're not bad, though. I remember growing up in Scranton, old man Abernathy down the road would always give out animal crackers, and I was happy to get them.
Nobody gives a shit about some dead guy from your past, Joe. The point is, animal crackers or pretzels or anything that's not candy is pretty disappointing to get on Halloween. These have got to go in horrifying.
Yeah, sorry, Joe, hold the L.
Next is raisins. We must be at the shit part of the tier list, because nobody wants raisins on Halloween.
Joe might, considering he looks like a dried up old raisin.
No comment. Just put them where you want.
Looks like next we have popcorn balls. Seriously, are the people giving this trash out trying to make kids suffer on Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, I like popcorn as much as the next guy, but just a ball of popcorn on Halloween is pretty strange when there's a variety of other candies to give out.
Kinda shocked you're not one of the freaks who eats this shit, Joe.
I know I'm going to catch some flack for this, but I actually do like popcorn balls. Not saying they're good Halloween treats or anything, but I don't mind getting them.
Well, that is the criteria we're ranking them on. And popcorn balls just ain't it, Chief? Horrifying tier it goes.
Next is soda, it seems. I don't think I've ever gotten a can of soda on Halloween, and I know it is a strange choice to get, but I certainly wouldn't mind getting a Diet Coke on Halloween.
Yeah, this is a rare case where I think that even though it's not candy, it's still good. I mean, you can never go wrong with soda.
Yeah, honestly, we could put soda in Scary Good. Obviously, there's a lot of different kinds of sodas, and even though it's not candy, I do love my Mountain Dew.
Okay, looks like next is cough drops. Hell, now this is definitely some shit Joe would give out.
What? You never just popped a cherry cough drop for the taste?
No, you freak.
Joe, I really hope you haven't actually given out cough drops on Halloween. Still, it's safe to say these are going in Biden tier just because he enjoys eating them as candy.
Looks like the rest of these entries are just jokes or just really horrible, so let's just run over them real quick. They're all going in horrifying or Biden tier anyways. Starting with an apple. Seriously, is this something you get when you visit a dentist's house?
Yeah, nobody wants this healthy shit on Halloween. We want to rot our damn teeth out.
Next, we got the Bible. Are there actually people who give out copies of the Bible on Halloween?
There's always going to be those die-hard Christians out there who think Halloween is devil worship or whatever, trying to convert the youth in the most pointless way possible.
The Bible is a great book, though. I'm sure you're just salty nobody's giving out the Quran, Obunga.
Oh, fuck off, Tubby. I left the Muslim Brotherhood long ago.
Well, either way, I think it's safe to say this isn't what people want on Halloween, religious or not.
Yeah, not really. Speaking of shitty Halloween items to receive, next on the list is pencils. Really? I thought we were trick-or-treating, not back-to-school shopping.
That might be the smartest thing I've ever heard you say, Joe. Seriously, if someone gave me a fucking pencil instead of candy, I'd go John Wick mode on them.
You'd be justified in that response, honestly.
And if that's not bad enough, next up is coins. Fucking coins. How broke you gotta think the people coming to your house are to give out pennies and dimes and shit?
Must be the same person who also gives out coupons. Like, maybe you're the broke one if you're giving out shit like this instead of actual candy.
Well, at least you can get some use out of coupons, I guess. Though that doesn't save them from the horrifying tear in my mind.
This has got to be a joke. Toothbrushes are on here too. Must be the same people who give out apples who give these out.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument that a new toothbrush after eating so much Halloween candy could be useful. Still, not what anyone wants to receive.
Definitely not. I have my own damn toothbrush that works perfectly fine.
Same deal with hand sanitizer. People really just be throwing anything in kids' Halloween bags these days, huh?
Seems like it. And anything that isn't a delectable treat might as well be thrown away as far as I'm concerned.
What the hell, is that a fucking razor blade? Donald, did you put this on here?
Very funny. As much as I'd love to see you bite into a chocolate bar with one of those inside, I'm not that cruel. Though honestly, a razor blade would probably taste better than some of the candies we've ranked.
That might not even be an exaggeration, to be honest. Still, getting an actual razor blade hidden in a piece of candy would suck.
Well, I guess all that's left is this last item. Wait a sec. Is that fucking fent?
Fentanyl? I'm not surprised. Biden's open borders have allowed drugs to flow through our country like never before.
Yeah, but what fucking moron is giving away good product like this to kids?
What the Sigma did you just say?
I'm not surprised. Obama's a junkie. He wants to hoard the fent for himself.
All I'm saying is this should probably go in the top tier.
Yeah, not a chance, Barry.
Damn it, worth a shot.
Well, I guess that's it then. Thanks for letting me waste 40 minutes of my life with you guys. I'm going to get this costume off and go to bed.
All right, Sleepy Donald, see you later. Well, I guess I'm off too then. Later, fellas.
Want to run some BO6, George?
Sure, why not?